Every episode on Celebrity Encounters Podcast, we interview real people just like you sharing their own personal celebrity encounters. And with a little storytelling help from us and a few surprises from here in Las Vegas, this is Celebrity Encounters Podcast.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Celebrity Encounters Podcast. I'm John Rodolini.
What's going on? I'm Haley Brooks.
Yeah, how y'all doing?
Yeah.
Been a minute.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping
Welcome
by.
back.
Speaking of stopping by, we have a very special guest joining us today, all the way from, where are you joining us from, friend?
Las Vegas.
Oh, Las Vegas. Hey!
Yes.
A theme in our show. Eric, welcome to the program. How you doing today?
Excellent. Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course, a pleasure. So, tell us, Eric, what celebrity have you encountered?
Garth Brooks is the one that I want to mention first.
Oh, first. So we have a list.
Yeah.
We don't want
it
to.
depends
You
on how
reveal
long
the
you wanna
list.
go on, 'cause
Reveal
I
the
could
list.
Yammer.
Hashtag revealed the list.
So my encounter with Garth Brooks was in 2015.
Okay.
And it was in Omaha. I was living in Omaha at the time. Had always been kind of an autograph hound and trying to hunt down celebrities to get signatures. But every once in a while, through my work, I was able to have conversations with a couple of them, and Garth Brooks was one of those.
Oh, wow.
So he was coming off of his retirement that he announced in 2000 and was going back on tour in 2014. And in early of 2015, he was scheduled a concert in Omaha. And it was one of those things that at that time, he was continually adding shows to his concerts because they were selling out in seconds. And his Omaha shows were, I think he did at least 6, but maybe 7.
Wow.
And they all sold out in under a minute, that sort of thing.
Right.
And when it came time for the day of the show, he had a press conference
As one
that
does.
he allowed the media to come in
Sure.
and talk to him and ask him questions and things like that.
Why
And
are
these
you
press
in Omaha?
conferences are always they're always the same thing, in which the media is 35 feet away and he stands on a podium and answers some questions that people shout at them. But in this case, he allowed people to have one-on-one conversations. So he had his regular press conference in which he said, we're gonna be doing this at the show. You're gonna have this at the show. My wife, Trisha Yearwood, is gonna be there as part of the opening act, and it's gonna be great, and it feels great. And then you were able to engage with him one-on-one. And during that time, I didn't really ask anything about the show, but I just asked him, like, personally, it's like, so going back on tour after being on retirement, are you nervous? And he had said, I am terrified.
No.
All these shows
Really?
are selling out, and I have played some shows already, but each one I am just scared that nobody will like it and that I will screw it up.
Oh.
We know the songs.
Yeah, I think he knows the songs.
I think he solidified their bangers.
Yeah.
Well, that was also part of the thing is like, well, how can you be nervous? All these people are, you've been singing for all this time, and your shows are selling out, so you know that they love
They
you
like
and they
you.
want to
Yeah.
see you.
They want you to succeed.
He's got more diamond albums than any other artist. Full
Even
stop.
Garth Brooks has imposter syndrome.
It was very surprising. It was very surprising for me because it's not the answer that I had expected.
Right.
But
I'm fearless.
That was the biggest takeaway for me for that particular encounter is that whether it was an act or not, for me it seemed like it was very genuine.
Sure.
But he was also, like, in that time he was very approachable, and he was not arrogant or condescending or anything like that. He seemed very open and receptive to anything that you wanted to say. So, and I was the last one to be able to talk to him because.
Oh, that's great. So you get to.
And I don't know. It was about maybe a 10 or 15 minute conversation, but he had done that with each of the people that were there.
Oh, wow.
And some would ask, media questions about this, that, and the other thing, and they would take their picture with him and that sort of thing. But he was very accommodating and very receptive to what everybody wanted, and which was also, for me at the time, very unusual, because here's this world star that has sold out shows, and there is no reason for him to do this media press event because all of his shows have already been sold out.
Right.
And so why would you bother advertising it or giving anybody this time?
He probably missed it, right?
Yeah.
He was coming out of not being in the game for a hot minute, and he's like, in my little hole, nobody cares about me. I'm back.
That's right. So, speaking of media-related question for you, how did you cheer him up in your conversation? What did you talk about?
Well, that was kind of my icebreaker, and it ended up becoming my go-to question for any time I might run into a celebrity or that I'm in a corner and I need to ask them a question, which is the "Are you nervous about going on stage?" But after that, it was, how does it feel to get back into it and go back on tour? And he had mentioned that one of the things that was a big plus for him is that he was on tour with his wife.
That's probably got to help.
That really made things. I can't remember his phrasing, but it was something like it took some of the pressure off because she was there and she has her own fan base, and that they were able to kind of collab together.
And you're doing this with someone. You're not like solo writing it. That's pretty cool.
In this case, I happen to have one other guy with me, but and he wasn't there at this time. He asked his question and felt stupid. And
what was his question?
Like turtles?
So my reporter at the time, he was also a baseball coach. Okay. For like a little league team, and it was kind of a big deal little league team, and he had a camp that he would put on every year, and it was kind of a big deal in the little league world. This guy's camp, and he was trying to make a joke about how Garth Brooks concerts were interfering with the little league team camp because everybody was going to that instead of going to the camp.
Yeah.
And so he was trying to make a joke, but it came across like, Garth, you ruined my camp by having your concerts here. And so Garth did not. He was like, well, okay.
Which is wild.
Sucks to be you, baseball boy.
That's right. Well, speaking of baseball, Garth Brooks turned down some pro-level contracts to play ball.
No.
Yeah. Garth Brooks, real name Troyal Garth Brooks. That's Royal with a T. Yep, more you know.
Ertl with a T.
Was that the name that he used for his rock and roll persona? Because he tried the
okay.
Go for it.
All right, get ready. Bring it in, camera 3.
I
Dig
love
in.
this story.
So in the 90s, Garth Brooks, white hot, cool shirts, like career on fire, megastar. At a certain point, a pop rock album comes out with the music of one Chris Gaines. Who's Chris Gaines, you might be thinking?
Who?
Exactly.
Who?
So Chris Gaines has, the popular like kind of emo haircut, the like swoop.
Swoosh?
Yeah, the swoosh.
The Pete Wentz?
Yes.
This one?
One of those.
Yeah.
Guy liner, if I recall correctly, dark clothes, brooding. Chris Gaines puts out an album. Okay, who's Chris Gaines? Everyone wants to know. And suddenly, at some point, someone says, that's Garth Brooks. Huh?
Who says it's Garth Brooks? Who outs
That
Chris
is
Gaines?
a mystery that I don't have the answer to. But you can put it in the chat. You can put it in the comments. Let us know who unveiled that Chris Gaines is Garth Brooks. And some people didn't believe it. They were like, no, these are two different people. It is Garth Brooks, as far as I know.
Has Garth Brooks confirmed?
I cannot confirm nor deny that. However, I can tell you that supposedly there was supposed to be a movie about a character, Chris Gaines, that put out an album in the real world, and the movie never happened. Now, if I'm wrong, pop it in the chat, but that is my understanding.
So do you think Chris Gaines was supposed to be a movie character and it never happened?
I don't know.
And then so this whole persona thing was for nothing?
You know, it could be that, hey, I did this character for a movie, the movie never came out. Cool. Maybe he just wanted to put out the music. Maybe he just wanted to try something different and have an alter ego and did it. And the movie was a second thing. I don't know. All I know is right now you can Google Chris Gaines and listen to some pop rock courtesy of, Garth Brooks.
Were you familiar with Chris Gaines?
I was not. I'm not even a big Garth Brooks fan. Like this whole part of why it has stuck with me on this thing is that I didn't care anything about Garth Brooks. I just liked the opportunity to be able to meet him, and his coming back off this retirement tour was it meant nothing to me. But what was significant is that he was selling out shows so rapidly. And if I had been thinking more at the time, then I would have asked him about the Chris Gaines connection.
I have a question, because he did 6 shows in Omaha, right, while you were there?
Yeah.
At that time, was anyone murdered or went missing?
What?
More than likely, but I mean, I'd have to check the records.
Checks
All right,
out.
hold on.
Checks out.
Time out, camera
Checks
3,
out.
bring it back in. Where are you going with this, Nancy Drew?
This ties back into, are you aware of what occurs at Garth Brooks shows and how it ties into the one and only Tom Segura?
Lots of money being made.
I'm not familiar with that.
All right, listen
Buckle
up, guys.
folks.
At Garth Brooks shows, every show, someone appears to go missing or turn up unalived, as the kids say, for the algorithms. Yes. And Tom Segura fans have rallied around this because
Tom Segura, like the comedian?
Tom Segura, the comedian, has talked about it in his act, I believe. Yeah, when he's in that center stage and everyone's around him, I can picture it. Yeah. Yeah, he's talked about it, and it created this whole beef between Tom Segura and Garth Brooks. I swear to God, he probably, he sent him, I don't know, cease and desist or whatever, but this is a thing. This is a thing!
So wait.
What was the headline I read you? What did the headline say? So Garth Brooks caught a case, okay? And they were like, Tom Segura fans rejoice. They're so happy that Garth Brooks has caught this lawsuit case.
So do people go to Garth Brooks concerts and then, seat 112 disappears?
It's someone in the town.
Okay, so Garth Brooks comes to Omaha.
So Garth Brooks is a serial killer, is the
Or a serial killer could be
conspiracy.
going around the same time as Garth Brooks.
Maybe the serial killer is named Chris Gaines.
That's a hot take.
I could hear that squeaky dry erase marker. That's how quiet it got in here.
That is a hot take. I'm both.
It's on the internet. This is not my personal belief. I'm just saying that he does have intense security at his shows.
Yeah.
There is intense security.
Yeah. Well, okay. I am very intrigued by this, and I now know I'm going to go down a rabbit hole learning about these cold case files. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's a new one for me. I didn't know that my life was in danger when I was talking.
Yes, you know.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't say anything wrong. And
I'm glad you're
get on
still
his
here
list.
with us. Yeah, I'm glad you made it.
Mm-hmm.
You're a
Oddly
survivor.
enough, I have not talked to the baseball coach again, so he could be the one that's missing.
It's the Little League coach.
Turns out
You had your shows during our Little League games. How dare you?
if this ever becomes like a solved mystery, we need to do a follow-up. So can we just all agree that if there is a serial killer going around Garth Brooks concerts, we agree to meet and talk about it in a separate but related podcast?
The theory is that it's Garth Brooks.
I would be blown away.
At this point, would you?
Yeah. Especially if it was and he had a gun.
Anything. Wait, And he had a gun?
I'd be blown away.
Oh.
There you go.
Or a sailboat.
I'm sorry, or a sailboat.
Still be blown away.
All right, coming back to reality. So you had this really cool, I'll call it kind of intimate one-on-one conversation with Garth Brooks.
That meant nothing to you.
Right. So if you were to go to, let's say you went to the Garth Brooks show.
But yes.
No, you did say that.
I did say that. Yes, I did say that.
This is where we cut back to
I'm just
that
not a
soundbite.
big
Let's see
Garth
that
Brooks
again.
Country fan.
Yeah. Folks in the truck,
Go to
can
the
you roll that back? All right. So did you go to one of the concerts? Let's start there.
I did not.
Okay.
Because, as I mentioned, they were sold out.
Oh, okay.
So you got access as media but couldn't even see the show?
Correct.
Oh.
I think that they did. I can't remember if they gave out some tickets or if they offered some tickets to anybody. But for me, it would have been one of those things that if I had been given tickets, which I don't think I was, I would have just given them to somebody else that would
very
have
kind of you.
liked
Enjoyed
it more
it,
than I
yeah.
would have.
I get that.
All right. So you didn't go to the concert, but let's say in your conversation, I'm going to ask you to speculate a bit. You talk to Garth, and Garth says, hey, what are you doing after the concert? Omaha, Nebraska is a lovely town. Hi, people of Omaha. What would you have taken Garth Brooks to do in Omaha, Nebraska, post-show?
Well, that would be tricky because post-show, not much is open.
Okay.
What time does Omaha, Nebraska close?
So I can't remember I'm assuming that one of his shows would have been probably on the weekends. And so the bars and some of the restaurants are open a little bit later there.
Okay.
But a lot of the times, like across the river from Omaha is Iowa, those bars close at 2:00 in the morning. The ones in Omaha close at 1:00 in the morning. So you get a lot of traffic where people are leaving the Omaha bars at last call to go across the river to spend a little bit more time there.
Yeah.
That being said, right across the street from the venue where he's playing, there is I don't know if it's a Hilton or something like that, but the hotel bar there is really very nice. And a lot of people from the show and the celebs from there that are the performers that are playing usually end up hanging out there. Cool. So the short answer is what to do in Omaha. It would probably be find one of the bars and go to those. Because otherwise everything else is closed.
And if you're in Omaha for a concert, go to the Hilton. That's probably where you're going to see
Garth Brooks.
If
you make it out alive.
Yeah.
As I had mentioned off camera before, that's where I ran into Ozzy Osbourne because he was actually staying at that hotel for their End of the World tour, and there's a sky bridge that connects the venue with the hotel.
Oh, cool.
And I was walking across the sky bridge, and he and his entourage, along with Sharon, were going in the opposite direction.
Around what year or time period is this?
2016, 17?
Oh, cool.
16?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Not too long ago.
They had practiced their End of the World tour for a week or so in Omaha, but then that was the tour that they ended up cutting short because I think Ozzy fell sick.
Oh no!
Yeah.
And then he had to go into his back surgery shortly after that, and so that tour got canceled after a few shows.
Derailed, yeah.
So if you want to see concerts before they go on tour, you go to Omaha to watch the rehearsals. That's kind of.
You know how I know
cool.
you're both from the Midwest?
Uh-oh.
Tour. If you want to go on these tours, go on these tours. I saw Ozzy Osbourne on tour.
How do you say
Sounds like an app.
How do you say
Like a
tour?
dating app. Tour.
Tour?
Trolls World Tour.
As in you tore a paper?
Absolutely.
How do you say
That is-
water?
As in you're a tourist.
How do you
100%
say
correct.
water?
Tourist. Well, that one don't stop it. You stop it right there. That's you know what you're doing. That's not fair.
I think that is a cliffhanger that is going to leave the audience wanting more. So, in the meantime and in between time, Eric, thank you for joining us today on the Celebrity Encounters podcast.
Yeah.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad to have you back. Love the bowling shirt. I've been Haley Brooks, everyone.
I'm John Rodolini. This is Eric, and as always, you're watching the Celebrity Encounters podcast.
Thanks for tuning in today, and if you enjoyed our show, please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast on all your favorite platforms. We'll see you next week with the next episode of Celebrity Encounter Podcast.